Alright, welcome to round 2 of the MRL No Assist Championship. I'm your host, Mog Mage, and joining me is Pat.
Hello.
And this track is showing off the track map over 5 kilometers long, 2 DRS zones, so there's plenty of opportunity for overtaking, but the amount of curves in sectors 1 and 3 can also make a vast difference. You definitely want a good balanced setup in order to make sure that your car remains stable. And of course, just getting a nice view of the track. I mean, you can see, especially in Sector 3, how proudly American this circuit is, and I kind of love it. And of course, the overview, the stadium section. This is going to be an exciting qualifying. Unfortunately, this preview is a little inaccurate, as the clouds are much more gloomy in comparison. You know, immediately to turn 1, Peter is going to find himself in the lead. Yellow Snowman, though, got a brilliant start, but it looks like the Alfa Romeo's got a little bit held up there. Chili Willie is now going to try and pass his teammate going into turn 3, I think. Yeah, turn 3. Already off to a very hectic start. Yellow Snowman, though, he's on the soft tires. Just a bit of a gamble, but he's trying to maximize it as much as he can. Unfortunately, though, he hasn't gained any spots. For a moment, it seemed like he did, but now he's back down in 4th. Meanwhile, looks like Molly Dragon has got past Ben's own slice. It's up into 13th place. Braver getting past Kicks My Axe, using the soft tires to his advantage. Moo Iron's getting ahead of Bugatti, and JJ is already up to P10. Absolutely incredible! And now he's about to be P9 as he's going to overtake Sako going into the end of the back straight. Is he going to try and send it on Normbach? I don't think he will. He definitely considered it there for a moment.
Oh, Lord. Also, Chili's winning by 1.5 seconds, and it's only lap 1.
Yes, he is on the medium tires, his teammate of the Hearts, but I would say this plays the team's hands overall, because, I mean, one of these strategies is correct. We'll see which one turns out to be right. Drunken Shamrock is going to try to make a move on the outside. Peter going deep on the inside to try and cover it. Drunken Shamrock, though, it's going to switch back, and he's going to immediately make his way into 2nd place. Brilliant move. It looks like that hard tire isn't panning out too well for Peter at the moment. It's now under pressure from Yellow Snowman. You can see he's watching, waiting for an opportunity, and he's definitely going to send it to the next corner. Going on the inside, can the Ferrari get ahead? Braking even later than him. Oh, Peter tried to keep around the outside, and I think it may have just paid off. Looks like he got a bit of better traction on the exit, but all of this is allowing Whipples to now join in on the action, making his way in between the 2 Ferrari-powered cars. Can he get ahead of both, potentially? Is he going to send it? No, he's going to back out. Wise move.
A bit of lockup from Snowman, and it's going to leave Whiffles with a great opportunity.
And he's going around the outside now. Can he complete the move? It's going to be incredibly close between the 2, but I think Whipples might have it. Peter is going to have an advantage. They almost come together. What incredible racing we're witnessing right now. Whipples, though, unfortunately has to relinquish. Never mind, Peter just completely spun out. Oh! And that is Peter out of the race. Who collided with him?
I think it was Moldy Dragon. I think that's going to be a safety car. It's a VSC.
That's so unfortunate for Moldy Dragon. He had a pretty solid start, but I think he may have suffered some damage. We may not see it, but he could very well have front wing damage. Unfortunately, Epic Wind's gonna have a problem to deal with, and his name is Anthony Jenkins, already on the heels. J-Jo just behind, trying to overtake his teammate. J-Jo is having a brilliant run right now. Absolutely incredible.
Keep going, J-Jo. You're invincible. They can't get you.
I mean, he certainly thinks he is, as he's about to challenge his teammate for P6. Make that P5, as he's gonna go on the inside of Epic Wins. Unfortunately, he wasn't close enough. Still, wow. That was incredibly brave of him. But, well, there is a fine line between bravery and foolishness. And, well, that was very close to going over that line.
He had terrible luck earlier today. He was on pole in T2 and got turned at T1.
Yeah, speaking of turn, looks like Moo Iron's got himself turned around, going through the exact same turn that Peter did.
Is that Pagoda?
On this Moldy Dragon. He's going
no, it's Axe. It's Axe. Axe went off.
Who got it? Multi Dragon is going to put himself ahead of the Alpine up into 13th place. Unfortunately, though, the next car is a little under 9 seconds ahead of him, so he's got quite a bit of a gap to make up.
Yeah.
Wait,
oh,
something's
Epic
happened.
wins!
Epic wins! Oh, that is not an epic win for Epic Wins. He's completely lost at the exact same corner as Peter. We've seen multiple spins here, and I'm afraid that won't be the last.
Oh, JoJo must have, because he caught right back up, and we have a crash. Norm Bash.
Oh, the Thornbash going wide, and doesn't look like he has any damage. No, his car is still relatively intact. It is, unless, of course, he got underfloor damage, which could very well be possible. Meanwhile, we have JoJo gaining on Anthony. Is he going to find a way past? Yes, he will. He's going to be able to make his way back up into 5th and start hunting after Whipples. That's Bugatti losing a position to the law. We already see multiple drivers with penalties. And I think most of it has to do with, looks like corner cutting and track limits for Balam. Stocko has retired from the session, and I think he's done so in the pits. Yep. So that's going to be no safety car or anything of that matter. But
no, it'll be a red flag. What you mean?
Oh, it's Molly Dragon spinning out, and that's unfortunate. It's a lot of time lost. Meanwhile, Balam is going to try and make it back. Meanwhile, the two Mercedes are continuing to duke it out. JJ remaining ahead while trying to gain on Whipples, but him having to fight his teammates holding him back. But looks like Anthony James is another battle to deal with. Gary is trying to send it on the Mercedes and find a way through. And now, because of all this battling, Benzo is also joining up behind. You can see Gary really starting to gain on the two Mercedes now. JoJo having a little bit of a moment going off the track. We have 3 drivers going 3 wide into the next turn. They take each other out. All 3 around the race.
That's going to be a safety car.
What just happened there?
They are in the wall. That is a full safety car. They are fully in the wall as I'm looking at Anthony's.
Is miraculously still intact, but I guarantee he has severe damage. What happened there?
I have no idea. But I mean, this is saving everyone in the back, especially if your name is Kiss My Axe. You're 22 seconds off the car ahead.
Yeah, what I think may have happened was the Mercedes that was on the left thought only the Haas was next to him and not his teammate. And so turned right, and all 3 of them just ended up colliding, going to the wall. Bugatti gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car.
Well, you forgot to check your... Oh, they're pitting. They're pitting up front.
Yeah, that's not a surprise. Now, the same can't be said for Moldy Dragon, and he's right alongside Freebird, now putting himself ahead of the Red Bull up into 9th place. At least with think that, because Freebird is still in on this fight, as he actually backs out. Never mind. Well, that's mildly disappointing. Speaking of disappointing moves, Irons had a disappointing spin there. He's all the way down into P13.
Yeah, he's not in the greatest spot right now. We'll see what he can do from there. But looks like Drunken might get a move done here.
Absolutely sending it. He's alongside the Alfa Romeo. Can he outbrake him going into the next corner? Yes, he can. He's now into the lead. But Chili, he's trying to potentially fight back. Unfortunately, he just didn't have it in that corner and has to back out. Yeah, Moldy Dragon is in a potential danger zone, I guess you could say, because he's got now 4 or 5 drivers behind. Moo Midnight, meanwhile, overtakes Moo Irons, and while you can see why, it looks like he's spun out again.
Yep, Irons going from good to bad, back to good, back to bad again, and Drunken goes fastest.
Eventually, Willie's going to go for it. He's going to try and retake the lead going into turn 1, but he's going to be struggling on exit, allowing Drunken Shamrock to make a switch back. Can he find himself ahead by the time we get to the exit, or are they going to continue fighting side by side? Drunken Shamrock gets a time penalty, and now
he's well off the track.
Field. Yeah, he had to completely slow down and back out. Did they give him another penalty? No, it didn't. So they're still on an even playing field, and now Chili Willy has every reason to continue fighting. However, as they're continuing to fight, it's allowing Whipples to slowly but surely close the gap with Yellow Snowman chasing not too far behind even. Yeah, Chili Willy's crossing the line now, and he's gonna be maintaining his lead, but he didn't make the best getaway.
Epic's out!
Well, that was over real quick. Epic wins is unfortunately out of the race. Did he just completely lose it, or did he
Yes,
collide
he
with someone?
spun.
Oh, that's incredibly unfortunate. Meanwhile, we have plenty of action going on here. Moldy Dragons is trying to find his way around the outside of Whipples. Can he put himself into P5? Yes, he does. A brilliant move as Freebird completely loses it and spins out. So, unfortunately, simply due to the strategy he's on, will be out as he hasn't yet hit. He needs to. But you can see Drunken Shamrock already finding himself ahead, and now he's going to try and gain on Chili and Yellow. So, this is going to be interesting. Benzo is going to have to do his best to try and defend. Unfortunately, I think that tire difference is going to prove to be his worst enemy. Speaking of, Moldy Dragon manages to put himself around the outside. Yeah, brilliant brief overtakes from the both of them. Benzo is unfortunately now down to P6. And, well, he's inevitably going to have to pit. But Moldy Dragon goes wide, allowing Whipple to find a way through. But still, Moldy Dragon is still in this fight. He's going to use plenty of ERS. He's going to go which way, inside or outside? Looks like he couldn't decide there. And he's not going to be able to find a way past. Drunken Shamrock, though, gets past Yellow Snowman and up into P2. Now, there's only one car between him and the lead, and his name is Chili Willy. But maybe not for long. Drunken Shamrock is trying to find a way past, but simply can't do it at the moment. But it's fine. That patience is going to pay off for Drunken Shamrock now. He's got plenty of pace to go alongside the Alfa Romeo. Going to turn 1, can Drunken Shamrock take the lead of the race? Unfortunately, I don't think he's got the pace on the exit. Chili Willy has managed to get the better of him for the time being, but you can see Drunken Shamrock nearly touching his rear left wheel. That was a bit of a moment, to put it mildly. You can see Low Snowman also keeping him just behind.
I also am enjoying that the top 4 and maybe even top 5 Moldy can close. Oh, Drunken just took the lead for a moment.
Almost, but unfortunately not close enough. But he could potentially make the move as long as he continues to remain alongside. And it looks like he managed to do so. Chili Willy, though, is going to switch back on him, but struggles a bit on the exit, and Drunken Shamrock finally takes home the lead. Now, it's up to him to make a strong enough getaway, so then he manages to get that 3-second gap to Whipples. Whipples, though, again, unless he remains in range, could get a potential victory. Oh yeah, and I mean you can see.
So this could be everyone's boxing right now. It's already looking slick out there.
Oh yeah, but Midnight is certainly looking slick, overtaking Benzo and taking 6th place. His teammate though is currently holding on to the lead, but you can see Whipples is just behind and potentially trying to make a move on the Ferrari. But he still has to remain behind, but you can see that gap starting to build, and I think you are right. I think every single one of them are going to go in for inters this very lap. But I wouldn't be surprised if 1 or 2 maybe gamble and try to stay out for 1 lap. Drunken Shamrock is certainly going to do that. Chili, Yellow Snowman, though, is going to elect to go in. Whipples elects to stay out as well.
He might have gone on the power a bit too quick and just tap spun past that line.
Meanwhile, Benzo taking advantage of the entrance overtakes Balam. Benzo could be in a great spot to get a very good result.
Yellow Snowman has gained 5 seconds on Norm Bash's teammate this lap.
Drunken Shamrock, Chili, Whipples, and Moldy Dragon. And okay. I thought the Midnight was staying out. Let's hope he goes in. He is going into the pits. Norm Bash will be the last driver on slicks, and he is going to follow suit. Well, actually, Balam's going in as well. Drunken Shamrock is going to be able to come out. Will he be ahead or behind Yellow Snowman? This is going to be close, but I think Yellow Snowman is going to find himself ahead.
Oh!
Maybe not.
This is going to be very close. He's going to be on better tires, though. They're going to have grip.
Oh, looks like Drunken Shamrock.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? Boys and girls. Hope you all are enjoying your Moose Day. Been a pretty packed one. We've had 2 championships decided today. Or 3, I should say, already. This one has already been decided because Andy has just been killing it for the Mercedes team. And George has been helping to bring some points home. Andy's leading and won this Drivers' Championship at Mercedes. Has secured first place in the constructors here in Tier 2. And Tier 3, we just saw Epic wins. If you were watching that, Epic wins, I believe he won the race, which means he secures Drivers' Championship himself. And then in Tier 4, we had Gwenfro third, which got him in and secured first place for him in the Drivers' Championship. I believe Ferrari took home the constructors there. And then to finish things home in Tier 5, Ferrari took the constructors home there, whereas Kiss My Axe for Team Mercedes took home the Drivers' Championship earlier this morning at Canada. Well, it was this morning here on the West Coast at least. Hey, we love you too, Irons. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. So it looks like this race and lobby is about to get started. Why don't we head and take a look at our beautiful map here, folks. Again, we're going to be racing here at Canada. As you can see, 14 turns to the left, 8 to the right, 0.7 miles. Not much of an elevation change. You got the nasty chicane at the end near the Wall of Champions. We'll see if anyone gets caught off there. We've seen quite a bit. Oh my gosh. That's all. That subsides. Quick. And then all right. Monitor is no stop glitching. I know you guys were seeing that. That was a little scary on my end, but it looks like everything. Go. We are here at qualifying. My audio looks like it's messing up wonderfully. Just let me. This is F122 for you. I mean, I feel like the audio's cutting it out, which is not the best. But anyway. Oh. All right, so we got some drivers coming out. Got gentlemen in the AlphaTauri, Ferrari, and a McLaren coming out close together. And Moo Irons in the Williams was the first one out on track. He's going to be setting his first hot lap, setting the benchmark here this afternoon. It looks nice and dry for qualifying. Let's hope it's the same way for the race today. We might take a quick break in halfway through qualifying, take a quick look at the race notes so we're not just rushing through them before the race starts. But here comes Irons. Warmed up his tires. Go ahead and ride on board with him. Sounds like the audio's gotten back. Nice. I think it's lower just slightly. I spoke too soon because now the well, here comes Irons. Round turn 1 and 2. Looking to keep things fairly smooth so far. Brings it in nicely through that chicane, that downhill chicane in Sector 1, which is a beautiful part of the track. I really love it. You gotta take it pretty fast. You know what you're doing, and hit your turning point and braking point pretty quickly. And here it comes down to another fast chicane here. Rides the curbs perfectly, exactly what you want to do. Maybe gets a little too far to the right to get as much use of the track as possible, but helps him get as much speed as he feels. Winds open, turning from the hairpin. Got someone up above. It looks like they're weaving, warming up their tires. They're putting off to the right smartly, like a McLaren. So Mr. Iron coming through the wall of champions calmly and safely. Going to be settling in with a 10.9, just under 11. So these gentlemen have their work cut out for them already, with into the 10s with the first hot lap. We see McLarens are both out on a hot lap. City of R just sneaks right in front of Irons by 1,000th of a second. Punju setting in an 11.0. Mod with a 20.1, just warming things up himself. Echo CFC, excuse me, looks like he's not on a run himself. What was that in front of him? Looked like, yeah, it was AK. Let's go ahead and ride on board with AK. Oh! We went on board with him, maybe unfortunately for him, but get to front row of that. AK is out of this race, or out of this qualifying, excuse me. He will, running towards the back of the pack. Permanent Tax retires from the session. It looks like he's out in the same spot, or did he retire in the pits? Yeah, it looks like he the pits? I don't know. The mod's having some trouble, it looks like, over here himself. So still City of R sitting in first. He's going into the pits, getting on some new boots, irons. So setting himself up for another go at it here. He's got plenty of time on these softs, but feels like he's a little slow, delicately trying to tease the pedal across that turn. Feels like ice. I could tell you, oh, and he's going to slip down that chicane, and so he's going to probably bring it in now after that. MB Jacobson currently in sector 3, coming up to the final chicane, and he's not going to be setting a fast lap again. He's going in. The Haas boys looking pretty good right now with an 11, both of them sitting with 11.9s. But there's a big gap between Punju and Ketchen and MB Jacobson in the Haas. So I think we have a little bit more to see, as a few of these people have yet to qualify. Georgester with an 11.0, just squeezing right in front of Punju by 0.04 of a second. Gibbsy looks like he is on a fast lap. He's been doing a great job commentating for us. We love to see our our commentators coming out on the track, having a good time. Sets a purple sector 1, it looks like. Coming down hot into sector 2, down into 4th gear, rides that curb on the second part of the chicane. What you love to see. Andy retires from this session, oddly. He's in the pits and just retired like that. He's starting from the back. He's going to test his skills. Last 2 question mark challenge, it seems like. Gibbsy coming through sector 3 now. Didn't get a good look at sector 2 time, but he has yet to set a valid time himself. Cuts that first corner of the chain at the Wall of Champions beautifully. This is going to be 11.1. Squeezes right above Lion Sharky, who has an 11.3 himself. And the Haas boys keep moving down now with their 11.9s. It looks like Ketchen is currently out on a hot lap. There's a lot of traffic behind him, but why don't we go ahead and sit on board now with this Haas man. Do a little bit of team representing here, as we have yet to see these guys do much. Land Sharky gets by, it looks like, or that might have been Echo CFC. Yeah, excuse me. Oh, so Andy is doing a last to first challenge. We love it. Hey, Gwenfro. What's up, Axe? Thanks for stopping by. Congrats on the win again. in Tier 5. Well deserved. Gonna love to see you getting a promotion in Tier 4 and see how well you do there, because I know you pushed well today in Canada. F123 is a new beast though, and it's feeling a lot more fun than this game. That's for damn sure. So here's Ketchen now on a hot lap for Team Haas. He's got a few more people in front of him that he would probably like to admit, and I think he's still giving this a go. Teases the nose of the car around turn 2 ever so delicately. Down into 5th gear and 6th through these turns, fast flying corners. Stays into 4th just before coming down to the straight into sector 2. Cuts that corner a little bit too much, catches so much air, he's gonna have to slow this down. And Ketchen is gonna take a quick break. We're gonna jump back down to MB Jacobson, the other Haas man. See how he's doing today. And there goes the audio again. Not sure what's going on there. Again, F122, flawless game, folks. So City of R still hitting pole with that 10.964, just squeaking by irons amazingly. We got a few more guys. City of R now. All right, pushing his pole just a little bit further to a 19 or a 10.916, excuse me. MB Jacobson coming down into sector 3. Didn't notice he was up on his time at all. I guess we'll see once he crosses the line here. Looks like he's got some good pace, but is it going to be enough? Push him up a little bit. Mod, I see, got into 11.7s. JB with a 10.8. And MB Jacobson squeaks back into 8th place now with an 11.3. And this is tight, folks. There's going to be a crazy DRS chain. Oh, and it looks like, oh. That was a little craziness. I'm pretty sure MB Jacobson isn't on a hot lap anymore. Try to go to some action here. Echo CFC. Taking things ever so lightly. I don't know if this is a hot lap he's trying. I think he is. Oh, but this is invalidated, right? He's validated, it looks like. KDMX. Someone we haven't seen on the track in a while. I think he had his first action, what was it, last week maybe? Yeah, that's right, Gwenfro, Tier 4 champion. Hey, he's my teammate. I've congratulated him in his Twitch chat. MRK, P2, Tier 5. Look at that. You're going to get a good promotion too, depending on how many fast folks we get, huh? All right, so this grid is looking to be somewhat set. We've got 30 drivers out with 18 drivers here today. KDM. Looks like he was on an out lap there. So he's going to be looking for a little bit faster pace. The comms coming down the back straight. He's currently sitting in 11th with an 11.4. And these guys are just getting quicker and quicker. KDM's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get anywhere closer to these fellas. Comms going right inside to the pits. Echo invalidates again. KDM. Georgester now sneaks right in front of JB with a 10.8 himself, but 0.05 of a second better. Punju into 3rd now with a 10.9, so he's feeling great. Beats out City of R by 0.04 of a second. Oh my gosh, what is this? Gibbsy with still with an 11.115. Not too far from the guys setting the 10.0. J-Joe, and there he goes, our Saturday sensation boy with a 10.4, showing the pace he has with just 5 minutes left. But we're going to be here watching this beautiful Alpine go. I just really enjoy the blue and pink livery of this Alpine. Really something else. The way that the colors just mesh. Interesting. Oh yes, Kiss My Ex. It is very, very interesting as Gibbsy just goes purple sector 2. So he might have something to say. I think he might be up into the 10. I didn't really see if he's up on his time at all, but a purple sector 2 is good nonetheless. So he's got some pace. Rides the curbs. Ooh, a little bit of an upshift. That's slightly early into 7th, I feel, but still, ooh, 10.6. It sounded like he might have shifted just a smidge too soon. He might have been able to pick up those 2/10 that he lost, or those 2/10 that are between him and J-Joe there. But Gibbsy, up into 2nd for Alpine. They're going to be loving that there in that garage. The Mod's out here now. See if he can best his time. Looks like he's going to be going for a hot lap as this last one was invalidated. Go ahead and give the Ferrari boys some love here. And Andy at the back is normal, right? Yes. Andy's doing his thing. Who knows where he would have qualified. KDM does get into the 11s finally, 11.8. He finds some pace, it looks like, and Mod looks like he invalidated again. Or did he invalidate so late that... Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Irons, we've been on board with him for a bit. Punju, who had a really, really good race for, I would say, about 80% of it in Tier 3. Until he spun. And just essentially took himself out of the championship battle after a hard-fought 8 races prior. Now he finds himself here in Tier 2, reserving for his team that he is the principal for, wanting a little bit more action just before his Tier 1 broadcast, I assume. So he's having a little fun here at 10.9. Let's see if he's got any more pace in this thing. Currently up a 10th on his time. That might be a little interesting. Let's see how it goes the rest of the way through. Under the bridge. Through another fast and quick chicane. Takes as much track as possible and comes up off on the curbs. The hairpin, probably one of the trickiest apexes here, and how you open up the steering wheel, get as much pace as possible. And it looks like he's lifting. He's lifted. He knows. He's like, all right. I wonder if he thinks he can do much better. So he is building up his ERS. City of R is up half a 10th. As we see his teammate, Com45, caught up around in that section. I don't think it slowed him down too much. Here comes City Var trying to best his time. He's really, really close. At the end of Sector 1, it looked like. We'll jump back on with Punju after this. Rides that beautifully. And it's going to be a 10.5. City of R up into 2nd now, squeezing up above Gibbsy. All right. Punju up 2/10 on his time. He has definitely got some juice. Com retires from the session. He'll do no better than 13th. Toby retires as well. He'll do no better than 12th. Time is running down. Punju only up a 10th. He's lost 1/10 down that through Sector 2. Let's see what he can do here. He's going to find any time at all. And if there's any time to be found, I imagine it's going to be right here at this final chicane. Starting 13 and 14. See how he does. How far does he push it? He goes really close to the edge there. Jets out. And it's going to be good, but not going to keep pace with City of R, who he was kind of battling with through this middle part of quali. So it looks like almost everyone is out on track who is yet to retire. J-Joe, go ahead and sit on board with the Aston Martin boy. The Saturday sensation. He's going to be picking up a little bit additional drag here. And I think he was just warming up. 3 seconds, so this is going to be his last go. Why don't we go ahead and sit on board with him? I don't think anyone's going to be able to beat him here, so we'll give a nice little final hurrah of Season 7 with probably one of the better qualifiers in the league. Oh, and he spins as I say that. He's going to spin around, and that's going to be it for J-Joe. Georgester Irons have retired. JBTC is crossed the finish line. Punju coming around. It doesn't look like he's going to best his time at all either. Land Sharky is up or down 4 seconds. It doesn't look like he's going to get much. So I think, and we missed Gibbsy. We missed Gibbsy skip pushing up into first when J-Joe spun, didn't I? Oh my gosh. Gibbsy showing the pure pace that he has. With a 10.445 400ths of a second better than J-Joe. This is going to be disgusting, folks. Literally no more than a second between first and 13th. KDM and Echo Alex aren't too far behind. Oh no, Toby. Looks like he lost everything. His brake, steer, or nothing. Did you get that fixed? We got that fixed, Toby, before the start of this race. I understand why you had to retire now. You know if you need to invite back to the lobby. But here we go. Here is our starting grid. Gibbsy, J-Joe, Ketchen, City of R, Irons, J, BTC, Punju, Jorster, Jacobson, Landsharky, Mod, Tolby, Com, KDMX, Echo, CFC, AK, Kermit, Attacks, B, Andy, short Andy, starting in. So let's go ahead, before this race starts, we're going to take a look at these beautiful race notes. Iron Boogs, can't believe it. He's in P5. Believe it or not, my man. So this race is for all the glory, or all for glory, I should say. As we've mentioned earlier, this championship has been decided. Andy has secured the Drivers' Championship for Mercedes for himself, and he's secured the Constructors' Championship for Mercedes in Tier 2. So it looks like we have a dry race. This will be exciting. We love to see that with how fast everyone is. P2 and down in this championship, though, that's where things will be getting interesting. Don't Blink as a reserve is sitting in second, I believe. I've seen him here racing today, and in third. As we take a quick look at the standing, well, it's second. Yeah, Don't Blink and then Kermit. Don't know why the championship didn't fix itself. Well, that's interesting. And here we go, though. It's race time. 4 lights, 5 lights are on. And away they go. Gibbsy looks like he's getting off to a good start, holding off to his position. The Haas is close, but J-Joe making a big run, and he cuts him off on the first corner. Not really cuts him off, but he makes a nice move. And I see AlphaTauri of City of R losing it a bit around turn 2. Gibbsy has lost 1 position. He's probably not too upset about that. Go ahead and get a little bit more information up here. Early on, we've got a few changes. Landshark, KDM, and Tolby all fall down to the back. Ketchen sitting in third. Irons up a place from 5th into 4th. As we mentioned, City of R, who had a little bit of a trouble, and he's under attack from Punju. Landsharky is out of the race over after the first chicane. It looks like he must have lost control of the car out of that corner, or maybe got a little bit close driving with someone. and we're going to have a safety car before we finish the first lap. It is full dries all the way, so all right, another good second to take a quick look at the standings and take an understanding of what's at stake for these gentlemen in second and below. Don't blink. Sitting in second with 73 points. Kermit Attacks in third with 66. Ketchin in fourth with 60 points. So as you can see, with Don't Blink not here today, and he's a reserve driver, there's a lot at stake for this Red Bull, Haas, Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin. There's still some good points left on board, and I know Haas is pushing hard for the overall team standings P3. We shall see how it goes. I don't have those with me just yet. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I went to the wrong one. This is the one I want to go to. Yes. Beautiful. All right. Seamless transition. Okay, so let's get a little quick recap. Gibbsy got off to somewhat of a decent start, but I mean, his reaction time looked to be there, but just getting up and going, catching in the Haas and JJ in the Aston, they really had it. And they just, JJ, you saw it, beat him out in front in by turn one. This Haas of Ketchen is going to be right on Gibbs once this race restarts. I know it. Anju's looking to make some big moves, I would imagine, as well. Predictions for this race, if I had to say who's going to win, I would go with Ketchen. Last time I called a Tier 2 race, Ketchen came up and won in Miami late, literally at the last second. Oh, Toby. My bad. All right. And I see JB has an issue, and there's another car out there. What in the world is going on with that Ferrari? Yeah, Toby, let me know. Let me know if you need another invite. Okay. So, interesting strategies across the board. We look to have somewhat of an even mix. Just a few more medium runners. Like one or two more, it looks like. But it's almost as an even split exactly between hards and mediums. So there'll be a lot of interesting chess plays be going on here. And as we're going to be getting a restart going on, I think we're going to sit on board with Ketchen here. Get a good eye on this battle for first with Gibbsy and Jejo right there up ahead. So let's see how Ketchen can read the restart himself. And it looks like Calm is retired. He's out of the race before the restart. Oh my gosh. It looks like JJ's going to get a late restart here. And there they go. He's going to sandwich everyone up. Oh my gosh, look at all that action behind. Ketchen is under attack, and it looks like Moo Irons does get up and ahead of him in the Williams. He's got the inside. Can we please change? And he's going to have to back off and let Ketchen take the outside racing line. Anju right here moved up into fifth now. You still have no force feedback, Toby? So Gibbsy's keeping pretty good as Mod makes another move up into seventh off of Georgester. So Mercedes is falling down. We love that. But Andy's up into 10th after starting this race in 18th. Kermit Attack's getting up into 11th now, it looks like. Gibbsy's getting a little bit closer to J-Joe. Let's see how he plays this into the Wall of Champions. Pretty even, I would say. Still a quarter of a second behind. AK picks up a 3-second penalty. I see Georgester also has a penalty himself. Gibbsy with the fastest lap early on with a 14.1. And he's going to love that. He's going to probably just find the right time. And if I were him, might be when you get that DRS and getting that double helping. But if he can make this move early on, as he's got some pace with these mediums, so he might want to just try to get out of J-Joe's way as quick as possible. And these mediums probably be in a good window for another 6 to 7 laps, I would say. Oh, totally. We know it, Jordan. I love to see Andy out there battling, making a challenge for himself, and also showing, not just showing his driving superiority, but how well he can race by making good overtakes through a 35 lap race. So it looks like we got a VSC here. Not too sure exactly what the cause of that is, but the race has been neutralized for a few seconds. But we'll get going pretty quickly here. DRS is enabled and we are green again. Irons trying to sneak up quick, back up on Ketchen. But ever since he made that move up onto the inside just before, what was that, turn 4? He did give himself a quality ban. But just before turn 4, it looks like Irons is struggling to really find any pace and get any closer. Gibbsy still hanging tough. And everyone is essentially in a DRS train all the way down through 9th place. Kermit Attack 2 seconds behind Georgester. Chosen Tolby right behind him. Mercedes Parade. And Georgester and Andy swapping spots again. I wonder what's going on there. Oh yeah. Looks like Gibbsy was just making the move. He gets it done. So, with the fastest lap time. So now Gibbsy just needs to push. Oh no, Mark. Oh no, Calm. So it looks like Calm was trying to warm up his tires and smash into a wall, and that's how he found himself DNF'd under a safety car. You hate to see it. J-Joe is just losing time now. I think he has lost confidence in how fast these cards can go, how much grip they have in them. Gibbsy is almost pushing out of DRS range. Moo Irons. This is his time to attack, as it looks like Ketchen is just out of DRS. Punju right behind. It looks like Ketchen did pick up DRS still just barely from J-Joe. J-Joe's finally creeping back up towards Gibbsy. But I think Gibbsy has so much more pace and his setup's working for him through sector 1 and 2. Let's see what happens here. I think he might push to like 1.3 seconds. As these gaps are starting to, lengthen a little bit more. Oh man, Jordan, I didn't want it to end that way for myself. I pushed hard for Haas and thankfully finished after 35 laps. And then there's go Punju, he spins. Oh my gosh. Takes himself out of the battle for 5th and 4th and finds himself trying to collect himself way, way back in 12th place now. So Gibbsy hasn't pushed to that 1.3 seconds that I was predicting he might through first 1.5 sectors. J-Joe getting DRS, so that's definitely helping him. And now, Moo Iron's making the move on Ketchin up into the Wall of Champions. He's going to hold it, it looks like. Gets a double helping of DRS. Ketchin stays behind, catches the drag smartly. And they both stay on the racing line. So J-Joe, within a second, seeing him flirting around this 8/10 range. And he's fallen back now ever so slightly. More and more. AK picks up another 3-second penalty. Gibbsy picked up a 3-second penalty. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. That's going to hurt. So Gibbsy picked up a 3-second penalty. Missed that. I'm not too sure when that happened exactly. But he's got some work cut out for him now. J-Joe still reeling him in. Let's see if Ketchin can make a move similar to what Irons did. Just one lap prior. Within half second. But I don't think the straight's going to be long enough for him to catch up. So he's going to probably size up a move in 1 or 2 laps, I imagine. J-Joe is getting near her and near to Gibbsy. So it looks like these hards are finally coming in a little bit more. As imagine the mediums aren't doing too bad. They're probably around 25%. Colby within a second of KDMX. Got a far's way to go, but battling for the final points position here in Tier 2, Colby is. Oh! KD loses it a little bit, has to regain his composure, and Colby's going to sneak up into 9th. He's going to be happy about that. And here's our man, the champion of Tier 2. The man stealing all of the points and securing the overall MRL team standings for Mercedes as well. Right on the rear of Mod now. So there's a bit of a train behind Irons. AK picks up another 3-second penalty. Way back there with 9 seconds. Oh my gosh. And he's got softs on, so I imagine he's going to be pitting fairly soon in 3 laps or so. He's definitely pushing it as far as he can. Mod is, his ERS light is blinking. I think he's used up all he can trying to stick with this pack. And he's in 6th currently, which is pretty damn good. I think this is his best showing so far early on in Season 7. Yeah, Irons keeping within that 2-second distance. It looks like we have a VSC once again. What is this VSC for? Is it Echo? Yeah, Echo. He has no wing. Copy. He has no wing. Moo. Irons going in the pits early with the mediums. He's going to be switching on for the hards. Everyone behind him also going in, other than Georgester. So, an MB Jacobson, it looks like, yeah, he pits as well. So Tolby doesn't pit. KDM doesn't pit. They're going to make sense that Tolby didn't. KDM, I mean, he can really push these mediums another 8 laps at the very least. The VSC just came out the right time for them. Ketchin finds himself back in 3rd place after those folks going in for the early pit stop, but they're going to take these hards the rest of the way. They're happy about that. And we'll see how this plays out for them. Echo CFC speeds into the pitting lane, picks up a 5-second penalty. Looks like he's going to retire from the session. He's done. He's called it a season. Called it for F122 himself. He is done. And we're going green once again. J. Joe finds himself 0.3 of a second. Oh, and he's just losing more and more time. Gibbsy got a good getaway at the start of this, the VSC restart. You guys like the praise, don't you? Yeah, Jordan, huh? I don't blame you. I'd feel the same way. So Andy went ahead and pitted early as well. His teammate George stayed out as he had to, with how close they were, I believe. KDM picks up a 3-second penalty. These gaps are fairly big. Go back on board with Andy, who is just a machine. Trying to, got just over 22 laps. Get up into first. I don't know if he has that much pace in him. But let's take a quick look. He's 20 seconds from the leader right now. That is one pit stop. Interesting. Oh man, I mean, he's got quite a few people ahead of him that he's going to have to find his way around, but I think we could see that. We could see that happen. JJ losing a little bit more time. Mod picks up a 3-second penalty. Andy right behind him. They've got their DRS up and going, hunting down this Haas of MB Jacobson, the team principal for the team. And Irons looks like he's going to get up around KDMX after getting passed by him. It looks like he must have spun, right? Did he spin? Oh, no. He just caught up to them finally. So Irons pushing hard. So this will be the person that Andy has to fight for. I think he might have these gentlemen in the first 4 or 5 who have yet to pit beat. I think he can beat them once they go in for their pit stop if they don't get the luck of a VSC or a safety car, a full safety car, that is. A big line of folks behind Irons. They're going 3 wide back there. Oof. Oh, and they're going to spin Mod around. MB Jacobson. It's just there's just not enough track. It's not wide enough around that. MB Jacobson gives the position to Mod appropriately, it looks like. So hopefully we don't see too much in the steward's room for that. I don't think anyone lost or took any damage. It doesn't look like it. And if anyone would have, it would have been the Haas. So Andy's able to get up ahead through the help of that collision. Little nasty though. And Andy coming up on the inside of the Mercedes of KDMX, just showing, putting his nose there, showing he's like, I'm here, man. I'm making some moves. As I was mentioning, Irons is going to be the guy he's going to have to battle as he's trying to get his way up in front of Tolby and give himself a little bit more cushion. So Andy's going to get up around KDM finally, as Irons is still stuck behind Tolby. Gibbsy's down back here as well. Not too so Gibbsy did take a pit stop. All right, so Andy didn't have him beat. So Gibbsy provisional first, it looks like. Not too bad. He's going for the undercut. J. Joe has a choice to make coming up now. AK, another 3-second penalty. That guy is just racking them up today. He's taking them for everyone. Irons trying to see what grip he has on the inside. Doesn't have much. Flips right behind Tolby once again. He's got a whole bunch of horsepower. He's going to have to back out, and he smartly does so. Going to get DRS once again. I don't think he's going to be able to make this move. Andy's coming in, and as I mentioned that, we forgot about Andy. Andy does get an overtake done. Is he going to be able to keep it? It looks like he is. And now Andy is going to be the one to be battling. How does he get around Toby? It seemed like a bit of a difficult task for Irons. Can Andy find a way around? As City of R picks up a 3-second penalty, he's back in 12th place. So Andy just kind of planting his car in the middle of the road. Irons not too far behind. Trying to stick with him. Toby going really wide. Really teasing those guys to come on the inside, and I think Andy's going to have him done and dusted here, the DRS. Oh my gosh. It looks like he's got around 2 seconds to Gibbsy. J-Joe, Ketch, and Jortster all have yet to pit. Take a quick look at gap to the leader again. Andy, 17 seconds away from the leader. Haha! He is looking good right now. Slowly gaining on Gibbsy, up to 10th so far. But Gibbsy also finding some time on Jortster in the Mercedes above, or just up ahead. Iron's still struggling to get around the Red Bull of Tolby. And I think he might have found it. AK's left the session. Had enough of the time penalties. And finally, Iron's up and around the Red Bull. Got a ways to work and try to find that slipstream of Andy. I don't know if he'll be able to. These guys up here are all just driving their own races here, man. It's just... Don't see them. Don't see them. Don't see your opponent other than the guy behind. There's lots of gaps up in the top 4. AK saying struggling with the limits. I get it, my man. And 23 is just way more fun than this. This game's just stupid when it comes to traction sometimes. So Mod now caught up to the Red Bull. After getting caught up in a little bit of drama. He might be able to secure a little bit more points for himself and Team Ferrari. J-Joe picks up a 5-second penalty in the pit lane. That's going to hurt. All right, well, let's see what happens here. I don't think that 5-second penalty is going to help Andy or help him when it comes to beating Andy. But let's see. It looks like the Aston is up and going, and the Mercedes is going to beat him. That Mercedes is going to have him done and dusted. Oh, I spoke a little too soon. J-Joe just jumps out in front of him as quick as possible. Oh my gosh, that was exciting. But the tires, they are cold. Is he going to be able to put up a good enough fight? Got 5 seconds to serve. That's not good. Looks like Mod did get up around Toby. Toby went in for the pits, actually, it looks like. So Irons, 2 seconds behind Andy. 2.5. Kind of not barely able to make much of an inroads. KDM, it looked like he picked up another penalty. And Canada. These corners are difficult. So J-Joe's gotten some DRS. Catching up to Gibbsy. And this is going to be the battle here today for first place. Gibbsy, Andy, and J-Joe. They both have time penalties, so that's definitely going to hurt. Ketchen's going to pit and probably find himself back in 6th or 7th place. He's got to make a decision soon. Coming up on 20 laps here. Maybe he's going to take those another 2 laps or so and then put on the softs. Maybe he might be thinking something crazy like that. Andy looks to be, I mean, a little further away from J-Joe. But he's able to squeeze right back in at this hairpin. But is the get up there for him here? Is Gibbsy and J-Joe were battling for a little bit in Sector 2. J-Joe able to take the lead after the hairpin and with the help of DRS. And now it's Gibbsy, the one under attack from Andy. And this might actually help J-Joe out, depending on how much pace he has in those mediums. Ketchen did go into the pits. Coming out in 7th, it looks like, as I predicted, right behind Mod, or Ketchen. Oh yeah, Mod, excuse me, he's in 6th. Ah, he's in 6th. And his teammate, MB Jacobson, his team principal, right behind him. Andy now looking to keep a little bit better pace with Andy than J-Joe the previous lap around. But then again, as he comes around that hairpin, he's out of DRS range. Still picks it up though, because the checkpoint was early enough. So he's going to need all of that help that he's getting from the flat being open. And it looks like he is going in again. For another pit stop, he is going to put on the mediums and go the rest of the way. All right, looks like he might be going for the fastest lap. Let's see who has that currently. It is J-Joe with the 12.6. So Andy looks like he's going to be going for the fastest lap, willing to give up the battle for 1st and 2nd. See what he could do here. It looks like everyone has stopped at least once. J-Joe with 8 seconds of penalty, Gibbsy with 6 seconds of penalties. We've got 13 laps to go. So if Irons can keep this clean, he might find himself winning this today. And J-Joe DNFs. He DNFs right after the Wall of Champions. Oh my gosh, he spun out. That's it for J-Joe. It's going to be a safety car. Oh my gosh. Oh my. So finally, a little bit of drama here in this Tier 2 race. After a fairly clean one. And an early, what was it? Early VSC? Early safety car? What am I looking for here? I'm going to look at the tires now. Andy pitted. These hard runners are going to stay out on these hards. Andy has fresh mediums. Got pretty damn lucky here. I think some of these guys might be able to hit if they want up front. And they'd still be ahead of Andy. Oh, Andy disconnected. Andy disconnected? Is that why his AI? Is that why his car pitted? What in the world? I didn't see that. Gibbs, he picks up a 5-second penalty. Oh no. Irons being very safe and careful going into the pits not to do the same. But he's going to get some fresh tires. They're all afraid of Andy, who's joined. It looks like he might have left the lobby for a few seconds. And Andy might get a few places here pretty easily. Irons gets passed by him, but Gibbsy gets his place. Gets to keep his place. So Irons, that pit stop, just a little too slow. I wonder if he could have picked up a second or two going into that pit and come out in front of Andy as well. But look at this. The Mercedes boys up front in the top 5, 3rd and 5th respectively. Mod is leading this race for Mercedes. He knows he could take these hards the rest of the way. He doesn't care. Let's see a damn well defense from Ferrari here. That's what I'm hoping. Can Ketchen get around him early on? But these hards are going to have a rough restart too, I imagine. We'll just have to see how it plays out. So currently, let's take a quick look at the standings again. Currently, with the way things are, if Ketchen comes home with 18 points, that's going to put him at 70 with 78 points, up above Don't Blink in 2nd. Kermit Attacks is in 13th. So right now, Ketchen's looking really, really good to secure 2nd place for himself. Gibbsy's out. It looks like he's retired in the pits. He's had enough of F1 22. So Ketchen, J-Joe as well is out of this race. So he's stuck there with 58 points. And it looks like Ebby Jacobson, like right, this Haas, come on, boys. Let's make some moves. You guys can do this. We need these big points for the end of the game. This last season. Last race of the season. And here we go. Waiting on Kermit Attacks to join back up. Running with softs. He could probably finish with those. Will he catch up? I think we're going to be going around once more. I'm going to get a water break. Water break, folks. Okay, safety car is in this lap. Oh, that's a late message. So here we go. I'm going to keep it on penalties. We saw the tires. See the advantage there. Let's actually keep it here. We got a few more laps before we need to show the penalties. And Mod's off. A good restart for these two. Exactly what they wanted to see to get up in front of the Mercedes boys. But they're coming in quick. Oh my gosh. Ketchen right on the gearbox of Mod. He's got to time this perfectly and hope to God that he gets a strong defense from this Ferrari to get some breathing room before these Mercedes catch up to him. If anyone could beat Andy, it's going to be Ketchen. And he's got the lead. He's got 1 lap older tires. I don't think that's going to hurt him much at all. Coming up on 8 laps left to go. Gibbsy says this game sucks. Ah. Happy to be done in Tier 2 with it, I imagine. Ready to move over to F123. Georgester keeping some pretty good pace, so all these guys back into a DRS train. Oh, every single one of them, other than Tolby. But Tolby's not too far out. And Georgester goes a little deep, a little wide. He's going to let Andy come up ahead. So this isn't what Ketchen wanted. Excuse me. Ketchen probably wanted to make this game, or make his move before Andy was right behind him. You picked up a drive-through too, Gibbsy? What the fuck? I would have retired too, man. Irons up ahead of Georgester. Looks like he's having some trouble. Maybe Irons going to help Ketchen out in the Haas and catch up to Andy and put some pressure on him. And it's going to be a tough task to ask for Team Haas. Hell yeah, Gibbsy. You'd in battling for first right now. This Mercedes is right on him. DRS should be opening up next lap. This is getting quite interesting. Andy is super, super close on Ketchen. Everyone's still in a DRS train other than KDM now. Shows you how close these guys are. It's beautiful. See all of this close driving. And there it is. With the DRS open. Oh, they bang wheels just ever so slightly. Ketchen is able to get it done. Not the cleanest overtake. But thank God that bumping of the wheels was just down the straight. Andy tries to take a look. Mod coming up close. Almost hitting the rear of Ketchen in the Haas. But Andy, side by side with Mod. They look to be pretty even. Mod is finally getting outbeaten by the DRS of the Mercedes, who gets another helping of DRS. Panju picks up a 3-second, and he's going to get past Ketchen now. So here it is, the battle for first. 5 laps to go. Irons not too far behind. His mediums are going to be coming in to a good spot pretty soon, while Mod's hards are going to be pretty worn. He does have him beat off the time penalty alone. I'm sure he's going to want to try to get it past him. Go. Dude, that was a go move, wasn't it? I don't think Ketchen's catching up to him. He's got some DRS. All of these boys do up here in 10th place. Ketchen not able to make a move now. I mean, if he's going to make a move, it's got to be at the right time. And at the right time is probably going to be the last lap. EDM picks up a 3-second penalty. Way, way in the back now. He finds himself. 12 seconds ain't going to help either. Ketchen just staying within range. Unju with 9 seconds of penalties himself. That's going to hurt. And Toby holding his own here in Tier 2. Only 2 seconds out of 10th place currently. Granted, there's been quite a lot of DNFs. 6 of them, in fact. I know one or two of them were just people going in and retiring, I believe. Yeah, I think that hairpin is the difference for Andy here. Catching, this is exactly what he did last lap too. Gets a little close, but not close enough. Oh! And Punju's around, loses a wing. Punju loses his front wing. I imagine he's going to be taking it into the pits and retiring himself at this point. McLaren find themselves out of the points in this Tier 2 race, unfortunately. Catching way, way back behind Andy now. Andy's got over a second and a half breathing room. It's quite fitting that he does that in last after getting doing a 2-pit strategy. Got the help of a safety car. But another masterclass from the Tier 2 Drivers Champion. Once he crosses the line, he's got 3 more laps to go. Looks like Irons hasn't had the best overtaking abilities today. See if he can make something happen for himself late. We're in attacks with a 2-second penalty. Andy picking up another second or half a second on catching. Oh, it looks like JB and City of R bang cars a little bit. Oh, and City of R finds himself way, way off into the gravel or just off of a track. After that close race and close down to the chicane. Remember attacks now making a move on JB. Teammate Chosa Toby way, way back. 3 seconds behind. But Ferrari's going to be happy about their strong showing today. Mod half a second away from second place without the time penalty. That's something that's going to be a little unfortunate. But as KDM retires from the session in the pits, and Punju did the same, it looked like. Like they called it a day for McLaren. But Mod, if he could finish and cross the line in P3, he'd be happy about that. I'd be happy about that for him, damn it. Looks like this might be our finishing result. Folks are kind of just sticking behind the guy in front of them. Not able to make much happen for themselves. Even with the helping of DRS down this back straight. Everyone's just keeping the same pace. As Andy is now officially starting our 35th lap. Our final lap in Season 7 Tier 2 here at MRL. An Oprah race. Kayla says, that is correct. 10 finishers. Let's see them all cross the line. These 3 here, Mod, Irons, and Jordster, fairly still close, and maybe anything can happen. Anything can happen here. Irons pushing those mediums. Can he do anything? and get around this Ferrari on track. It doesn't look like it. There's our driver's champion. Also going to be taking home this win here in Canada. Another win for our men in the Silver Arrow. Andy is our winner here at Canada. Ketchen and the Haas coming down in second. Mod finishing, crossing the line in third, but finishing officially in fifth. MB Jacobson getting pushed up into fourth. Because of that, JBTC with his time penalties pushes him down into sixth. It looks like Georgester was officially in seventh place, and chosen Tolby in eighth. Right? Was it eighth? It looks like Red Bulls might have rounded out the bottom, and one AlphaTauri. Last to first. Easy, says Jordan. All right, man. There you go. That's damn right, Yellow. I'm glad you popped in and got to see that. Your boy finished in third place. That is right. In third place. And here is our final standings. Andy in first, Ketchen in second, Irons in third, MB Jacobson in fourth, Mod in fifth, JB in sixth, George Stern seventh, Tolby in eighth, Zivar in ninth, and Attacks in 10th. Those are the 10 who finish the race. And then our bottom half, KDM, Punju, Gibbs, JJo, AK, Echo, Com, Land Sharky. There you have it, folks. All right. Well, can I get my top 3 in Discord interview waiting room? If you're willing and ready, I will take you. I see Irons is already here. We'll go ahead and take the man who finishes in P3, but behind Mod on track. Go ahead. What's up, Irons? How's it going, my man? How you doing? You did it. I mean, you didn't finish. You couldn't get past Mod on track. How tough was it? I mean, I just saw you just sticking behind him. Were you trying to make anything happen, or are you just sticking behind him because of that 3-second penalty? Yeah. Hell yeah. Your team principal. We'll show him some love. We love it. Well, I know Team Williams is going to be very appreciative of your final showing. Good luck to you in season 8, Irons. Yeah, man, I appreciate it. And will I see you in the no assists race later to this? All right, all right. Well, one final hurrah for you and myself in F122, and then we can uninstall it. Thanks for stopping by, Irons. Peace. Okay, it looks like Andy won't be stopping by. I don't see Ketchen stopping by. But Ketchen, with that showing, is going to secure second place in Tier 2 for himself provisionally. And B. Jacobson finishing in fourth. That's going to be a strong showing for Haas. They're going to get 18 points. And try to get. Yeah, Haas is currently 1 point above of Red Bull in Tier 2 standings. And it looks like they might have sealed the deal with that. I think they did for sure. This is coming away in second, officially, the Haas team. Congratulations, Ketchen and MB Jacobson, for doing that. And congrats to Red Bull for third place. I'm pretty sure you guys did secure that as well. I don't think Alfa Romeo had much to say. They looked like they were over 30 or under 30 points behind Red Bull today, and Red Bull sneaked away with a couple more. So with that being said, folks, thanks for stopping by. Oh, I probably should have showed the standings right here. But nonetheless, thanks again. It was a pleasure. Tier 2, Season 7 MRL in the wraps. All right, folks. Love you.